Hi everyone, I've got someone else on part 2 test today. I'm just going to nip through on this left side. Yeah, just have to be careful of the Land Rover Discovery behind me. And as normal, where am I going to position my car? Just next to a spot behind this lorry. If they do just pull back in, I've got it covered. Now we're going to be watching this one to my right. If they don't give me space, I might go. Look at this one. Safest thing was for me to be out and gone. Absolutely. So sometimes acceleration is the key to getting yourself out of problems. And it was all caused by the driver of the white Nissan SUV that, as you probably saw behind as well, they were a little bit impatient with the lorry. If they'd have just held back and kept space and allowed me to sit in that little pocket to the side, wouldn't have been an issue. Now, today's video is all about the tyres that I've had fitted to this car. I've got some Michelin Crossclimate 2's put on. I originally had some Pirelli P0's that came with the car, and I just want to go through a couple of my observations with these tyres. It's not really cold yet. We are the middle of October and it's still 13 degrees, so it's quite warm still for the middle of October. And usually cross-climate tyres work better when they are, I think they say, below 7 degrees. So we've still got maybe 6-8 weeks before these temperatures are going to be dropping down consistently to that level. But I have got a couple of observations, and I'm just going to take my hands off the wheel to explain. That little piece of road surface, and don't do that all the time, to be honest. It was in a controlled environment. You should have at least one hand on the wheel, but it was a controlled environment. There was nothing going on. The lights were on red. There was no one beside me. This vehicle was catching, but it was behind, so there was no risk. I've done that to explain one of the major points that I've found with these tyres, and it's they don't track in grooves in the road like the original P0's did. It was quite strange, to be honest, when I had the P0's on, the amount of movement that you would have from undulations in the road, and it used to catch a few of my students out, and it was honestly one of the things that I think that encouraged my students to be a little scared, quite similar to how I've been on my motorbike, gripping the wheel or gripping my handlebars on my motorbike too much. And that's not conducive to good, safe, relaxed driving. So that's a benefit. I don't seem to be having the tracking down the road with these tyres. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe the sidewalls are a little softer. Possibly. The P0's were a very sporty tyre. What else have I noticed? I've noticed about similar levels of grip, if I was honest. This car did have a tendency in poor conditions, if you accelerate a little bit brisker in the lower gears, to be wanting to light up the tyres whenever possible. And it's no different with these tyres, so they're definitely no worse. Wet conditions, I do feel as though there's probably a little better grip than I had with the P0's. I've not, as you probably understand, I've not been booting it everywhere and using the roads as a racetrack as normal. I've just been driving in my normal manner. And people did say when I got these tyres that they won't give us as much grip as the P0's, pretty obviously in the dry. However, the driving that I do is within the limits and doing things properly generally, apart from taking my hands off the wheel to demonstrate to everyone the point that I made before. But generally, I'm pretty good with things. So it's not going to be a massive difference to me. So we haven't come to a proper conclusion yet with them. Mileage wise, I don't think they're any different whatsoever than the P0's. I've been getting exactly the same results with the type of driving that I've been doing. Let's have a little look at this scenario. It says that the road's closing in my lane. Is this one just going to push past and come into this space? Is this one going to be holding back behind me? Let's have a little look, a little test. I was reasonably positive there, and that driver took it brilliantly. Well done to the other Nissan SUV driver. That was better. That's how you should be operating your car, rather than closing spaces down. So well done to this lady. But yeah, going back to the tyres, not a big difference in fuel economy. If I was honest, I think they've been pretty much the same. Nothing's noticeable, but hopefully when the speed limit changes a little bit or further up, hopefully it's going to go back to a 60 limit. I'm just going to come to the next point. In fact, I don't know how long this is going to be on, so we'll talk about it now. There's a it's a more noticeable road noise at higher speeds. They are louder. People did warn me of that when I was getting them. It's not excessive, however, it is noticeable. I don't know whether you've had any issues with that with your own Crossclimate tyres. Just going back to this lady a second, although she was good holding back, she doesn't want to stay to this 40 limit. So the space that I've got out in front is fine. Don't be put off by people like this. There's nothing that I can do here to allow her to flow further. Just don't be bullied. Be resolute in sticking to the rules. Not an issue. Still got a 40 limit for a little while. It looks as though it does change back though. So what I am going to do is just pull back to the left, and then I'm going to get going. She won't like me doing this, but off we go to 60. There you go. Just didn't want to stick to the speed limit, but there is a noticeable increase in tyre noise at the higher speeds. Probably here at 60, not so much, but when I've been on the motorway at 70, it's definitely been noticeable. Braking, not an issue. I usually can gauge the braking quite nicely with the tyres when we're doing emergency stops, and I don't think that they've been causing the ABS to intervene any more or any less than the P0s. But the true test of these tyres is going to be when the colder weather comes. So there will be another update in the colder months as we're coming up, but for now quite happy with the comfort that these Crossclimates have given me. So all in all, good for now. Be interesting if we do get some snow this year and seeing how they cope. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep safe, and I'll see you all soon.